Hey guys, Aurelio Ashenbari here, and welcome to another episode of the Vibe Podcast. Over the past 24 hours, I've experienced two very interesting things that have led me to record this very random, but not so random episode on the Vibe Podcast. And basically, I'm going to be sharing these events that happened over the past 24 hours, and I'll be using the stories to basically just make a point that I think would do somebody some good. And the first incident or the first situation that happened, um, before I dive into the story, um, this is not one of those hook versus story tricks that people do on the internet. But I hope you're good. I hope that you are enjoying the better half of 2025 and you are giving it what it takes. This is Divide Podcast, and if this is your first episode, there's so many episodes to catch up on, but this is Divide Podcast, and my name is Aurelio Ashen, where I share my thoughts ranging from things about faith, lifestyle, life generally, personal finance, relationship, things that pique my interest, basically, or random thoughts, just like what I'm about to share today about what happened. So back to my story. So about an hour ago, I was scrolling through LinkedIn at 11 p.m. and I noticed a very familiar name, Joy. And this was, and I noticed the image, and it looked like somebody familiar. And immediately I remembered the person because I've not seen this person in almost a decade. The last time we met was almost 10 years ago. And immediately I remembered that, oh, this is this person. I just remembered how she made me feel when we were working together or when we had our interaction. And I remembered exactly vividly. You know that thing where something happens and then you just remember the memory so strongly. And I just remembered exactly where I was. I was an intern at Vedanzio. That was about 10 years ago, 2015, which is 10 years ago actually. I was on internship from 2015 to 2016. I was an intern at Vedanzio. I was working in the creative, in the ideas factory. That's what it was called. And my boss was Mr. Kola. And basically, Joy was working in business development, Mrs. Joy, Miss Joy. And I remember she was very warm, very kind, a very cheerful, kind person. And I just remembered immediately, I recollected the face that she made me feel heard and she took time out to make this random intern laugh. And I just remembered feeling seen. Like this is 10 years after, and I remember exactly how I felt interacting with her, and I just remembered how much she made me feel. Long and short of the story was that I ended up typing a very long message in her DM on LinkedIn, just saying like, "Thank you very much for seeing, thank you for being kind, thank you for being warm, thank you for showing me what leadership looked like," because. And this was very random. Like it was so random that after I finished typing like 6 sentences, I was like, oh wow, this is so random. And I hope that when she sees this message, whenever she sees this message, she would get her flowers basically. And I went to a profile. She's no longer a Verdant Zeal. Basically, obviously, she has changed jobs, done, but she still works in the advertising agency space. And I was just like, wow. And now she heads a team. I was just very, very happy and proud of the work that she had done. And I was not surprised because just in recollecting her presence, I could tell that she would make a very great boss. And it just brought this point to my mind, which is like people remember how you make them feel. It's interesting, but it's pure facts. People would remember how you make them feel. And remembering how people make you feel, or people remembering how you make them feel, happens because it is genuine, it's sincere, it's pure. And I think that is something that, in quotes, we are seeing less of. This leads me to the second thing that happened over the past 24 hours that led to this random episode. And that was, we had a visitor at the office today. And when I say today, I mean over the past 24 hours. And basically, we connected because the second or third time we were meeting. And she basically had a lot to say about the topic we were talking about. And I also was just seeing my mind. And she was like, oh, my, yes, exactly what you're saying. And we could connect on many levels because we were just sharing what would be in this context like pinpoints of things we've experienced, shege we've seen, something about shege that makes you just, you are somewhere you just, when you see somebody that has gone through the shege that you have gone through, the shege with which you have been comforted, you comfort others. But yeah, and it just in that moment we're able to just see eye to eye on certain things and just say, oh, more, this is actually very, very common. And in that moment, somebody asked and said, oh, do you know this person, like, outside of this place? Like, do you know this person? And I was just like, oh, no. Like, this meeting was not even for me. But I'm able to understand where it's coming from because I've experienced it. And after that person asked the question, I just realized that not a lot of conversations go like this. Like, not a lot of conversations are as memorable as the kind of experience I had with Joy 10 years ago that literally is dented in my memory, and I can remember how she made me feel. And one of the reasons is because in today's world, we try so hard to leave an impression that we, in quotes, take up personas instead of being like individuals or persons, or like instead of just being you in a very raw, undiluted, unfiltered, unpackaged way. We now become like personas of like characters that with how I want you to be to feel about me, that we are just like, you know how on a post on the internet you can check and see the number of impressions. Literally, that's what real life now feels like a lot of times. People want to leave you with an impression, and that impression many times is sometimes aspirational. Like, people want you to know that, oh, I am a professional, or I am something that I'm not really at this level, but I want it to be impressed upon you that I am at this level. And because of that, the person is overshooting, the person is trying too hard, the person is not just being themselves, the person is not natural, the person is not human, the person is what many people would describe as fake, because what the person is trying to impress on you is not what the person really is. So you can meet, I don't know if you've gone for any random event and you just realize that everybody is trying to sell themselves. So we're literally a marketplace of personas and personalities and enthusiasts, and people just looking to, in quotes, achieve their goal and seeing you as a means to an end. And just because of that lack of the human element, that lack of genuineness, that lack of sincerity, that lack of this is just who I am, raw, undiluted, this is just like, I'm a human being, flawed in God knows how, but I'm just me. And these are other elements of me. We've now become this, like, all I want you to know about me is that I am great at tech, for instance, or I'm great at my work. So all we talk about is just about work. And we just have very, very limited experiences of people. Why? Because like, it's all about one focus. It's all about work, or it's all about social media, or it's all about just some very random thing that you can tell that this person is trying to impress on me that he is a fine boy, or this person is trying to impress on me that she has great taste of music, or this person is trying to impress on me that they traveled to whichever place. And like what you are really feeling is an impression of that's being forced down your throat rather than a person that you are meeting. Like you're not living there thinking, oh, this person loves music and the person has a soul for music and this person's favorite artist is this because of just the way she connects with this artist. It's about how this person, oh my god, she or he loves music and is such a genius at this music thing that the person can literally impress me with what the person knows. So we are just chasing impressions, and it's a very hollow thing, and it's very because like what it means is that everybody feels like the same person in different bodies. Like everybody is an influencer, everybody is a TikToker, everybody is a model, everybody is like it's just like you just meet like 20 people and the 20 people out of the 20 15 people are trying to be one thing, and I do think that is very painful and sad because we are not impressions, like we are people to be experienced. Like you are more than one thing, that's one bullet point that you're trying to impress on whoever the person is that you're meeting. And I do think that it's important for us as people to be ourselves, no matter what that self might be. And when I mean be ourselves, I'm not talking like rainbow validating be yourself. I'm talking like just genuinely existing without the pressure to impress, without the pressure to be perceived in a particular way, without the pressure to ensure that your helper does not miss you, but just being people. And I think like that vulnerability of just being yourself, that plainness of naturalism, that bareness of your person is really where the purest and the most sincere form of connections happen between people. Where you meet somebody and you're like, I really like the person's personality just because of who the person is, not because of who the person is trying to make you think that they are. Because the truth is, everybody can tell when somebody is faking an identity or faking an impression or is forcing a narrative. You can tell that, oh, this person is just trying to leave me with X or Y narrative so that I know and I'm informed. And I do think it's tiring because it's not memorable. It's just tiring. So yeah, as we go out today, I hope I've made some sense and what I've said makes just some sense or any sense. But yeah, maybe this is a rant also of how we are no longer as just natural people. We are trying to be picture perfect for every frame and impressive at every event. And our effort to put our best foot forward is now us putting forward the production. But yeah, I hope this makes sense and you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Do share in the comment section. But I think we need more genuineness, we need more natural people having natural conversations and just being themselves. Because we connect best when we are just sincerely ourselves, not when we are trying to put up a front. Yeah, that was what this random episode was about. Yes, so as you go out today, do try to be kind to people, be yourself, connect to people genuinely, and I think you would enjoy life a bit better. Obviously, being genuine in quotes means being vulnerable and being expressive and being yourself and being authentic, and that can feel like a lot of work in today's world. But yeah, do the work. Do have an amazing day. Cheers. My name is Oluwaseun Barry, your host, and enjoy the rest of your day.